I hate Shakespeare. That's right, I said it.
No.
I do, I hate Shakespeare.
Why?
I just don't get it, how a mediocre actor from a measly little town is suddenly the brightest jewel in England's royal crown. Oh, God, I hate Shakespeare. His plays are wordy, but oh no, the great Shakespeare. That little turd, he has no sense about the audience. He makes them feel so dumb. The bastard doesn't care that my poor ass is getting numb.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
It's easy, I can say it, cause it's absolutely true.
Don't be a penis, the man is a genius.
His genius is he's fooling all of you.
But he's brilliant, what majesty flows from his pen. His poetry soars like a sweet violin. God's own inspiration, like lightning doth strike him, and he captures my soul.
Ah, jeez, you sound just like him.
Really? Thanks.
You should hate Shakespeare.
Well, I don't. I try to emulate Shakespeare.
Well, there's your problem. You're so blinded by the bard who's such a pompous little man.
Why is it a problem to admit that I'm a fan?
'Cause he's a hack with a knack for stealing anything he can.
How can you say that? How can you say that the man really knows how to write a bitchin' play? You wish you could pen one. We wish we were in one.
I just wish that he would go away.
Well, that's not gonna happen, because everybody I know says that he is the greatest writer that England has ever known.
And that's another thing I hate about Shakespeare, is all the twits who bloviate about Shakespeare, and how they prattle on about his great accomplishments. Well, la-di-da-di-da. And once they start their gushing, there's no stopping them, and then it's blah, 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 Shakespeare. And he walks in as dum-da-dum-ta-da, Shakespeare. He's holding court and they say, Will, you're such a genius and your writing is divine. A rose by any other name is such a clever line. And they're all ooh, and he's all stop, and they're all yay, and I'm all ah. And I'm really getting sick of it. And I hate Shakespeare.
I think by now we sort of know you hate Shakespeare.
Shakespeare, the way he feigns humility when all he does is gloat, the way he wears that silly frilly collar around his throat, the poster child for why no one should ever procreate. Let me make a shorter list and I will give it to you straight. Every little thing about Shakespeare is what I hate.
He hates, he clearly, surely, really, truly hates Shakespeare.
Don't hate.
Welcome to TheTechCove. Here's Sean.
You know, being the creator, choosing the content, and actually listening to the show live while I'm on air is kind of neat. And this week, you guys are going to have a very, very good show. It's all about play. No, not like Nintendo play, but alternative play. Play when you read, play when you're being creative as far as mixing and editing music, Mac-wise, and even play at playing with an app called Audio Game Hub. And stay tuned for, after all that good educational step-by-step learning stuff, for an announcement, a special announcement.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Thomas Donville, also known as Anonymous, here for another review and a demonstration of a particular app that I had in mind for this podcast. It is called Capti Narrator. It's spelled CAPTI space NAAATOR, Capti Narrator. This is a free app. Yes, it is free. I know a lot of people are probably saying, yay! It is a great and remarkable little free app. It does include some in-app purchases, and I will show those to you of the different various in-app purchases that are available in this particular app. Alright, Capti Narrator is very similar to other apps that you may have heard of that will take any book, text, websites, articles, anything like that, and read them back to you by different kind of various text-to-speech voices. You can use the built-in voices of your device, so if you like Samantha or David or Alex or whatever have not that you want to use, you can use those for free of purchase. There are other voices you can download that sounds remarkably better. For my sake, I'm going to demonstrate today Amy, which is a British voice that you can buy for $4.99. It's a one-time upfront purchase, but for me, I enjoy the voice very much. But if you don't mind the built-in voices and you want something free alternative, this is a great option to do that. So let me go ahead and just dive right into the app so I can show you everything is available within this app.
Capti. Double tap to open.
It is labeled as Capti. We'll go ahead and double tap on this.
Capti. Menu. Button.
Okay. The very first screen you see when you open up Capti Narrator is what we call the playlist. Now the top left is your menu button, and we will get to that in a few moments. I want to show you what the playlist consists of, what it has now, and what it will have later when I add things to the playlist. So I go to the right.
Playlist. Button.
There's the playlist, which is at the top center.
Edit. Button.
And we have the edit button, which is at the top right-hand corner.
40 minutes, 57 seconds, elapsed.
Alright, so as I swipe to the right, it tells me the current book that I'm reading, or article, or whatever have not, that I have read 40 minutes so far within this particular book.
Reading position, 40 minutes, 57 seconds, 12%, adjustable.
Okay.
Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
This gives me the position of the book I'm in. So obviously you can do a flick up or down to go further into the book, or flick down to go back, further back into the book, so you can start where you started. So you can adjust the time lapse of where you are in an article or book by doing a flick up or down. So as I swipe to the right,
4 hours, 55 minutes, 42 seconds remaining.
So there are 4 hours, 52 minutes remaining in this particular book that I'm reading. As I swipe to the right,
search field.
And we have our search field if you want to do any search for particular books or keywords in a book. And I will tell you about the in-app purchase, what would be involved with the search and the very top button, which you had the playlist button. But we're going to keep going to the right.
Playlist tracks. Dimmed. Heading.
Okay, go to the right.
The Jungle Book. Paused. 5 hours, 36 minutes, 39 seconds. Double tap and hold to share. Actions available.
So this is the book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Jungle Book. And this is a free book that I downloaded, and I'll show you where I got the book for your interest if you want to read The Jungle Book. But it tells me how long the book is. Now, towards the top was more of the how far I was into the book and how long the book was. So there are more options you can do with this, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep flicking to the right, and we'll come back to this, and I'll show you what other options you could do with this.
Tracking on. Button.
Okay.
Following along with the current reading position.
This is the tracking. Tracking is great for people that have any sight. People that are sighted or have dyslexia issues, tracking is what you would want to use. But for people that are blind or visually impaired, probably wouldn't find any use for tracking at all. This is a way to be able, those with sighted could be able to read a much better way and faster way to read a book for them, okay?
Previous track. Dimmed. Button.
We have the previous track, so if there are more than one books or articles I have listed, you will see these previous items in the next item. So I'm going to go to the right some more.
Play. Button.
We got the play button. Now the play button is now located directly above the home button. So the bottom left is going to be your tracking. Right next to that is previous. And right above the home button is the play button.
Next track. Dimmed. Button.
To the right of that is the next track. And then to the right of that,
normal. Button.
Is normal. This is the playback speed, so if you'd like to have it spoken faster, you can just go to the bottom right-hand corner.
Normal. Button.
Double tap it. And then if you tap on it again,
faster. Button. Faster.
It
button.
says faster. So if I double tap again,
normal. Button.
It'll say normal. So it'll play at normal speed. All right. Let's go back to my tracking here.
Tracking off. Button.
Tracking
Following
is
along
off.
with the current reading position.
Go ahead and just make sure that's turned off. So this is the main playlist list. So let's go back to the Jungle Book.
Search field. Playlist tracks. Dimmed. Heading. The Jungle Book. Paused. 5 hours, 36 minutes, 39 seconds. Double tap and hold to share. Actions
now
available.
You can double tap to hold this and share. So basically you're sharing this. Say, hey, check out this book. I'm reading this article or this book or whatever have not with your friends. So if I double tap and hold.
Message. Button. Drag
You can send this to a message
double
to
tap
somebody.
And hold. Mail. button. Drag able.
Mail this to a person.
Reminders button. Drag able.
Set it as a reminder.
Double tap. Add to notes button. Drag able.
Add to the notes.
Instapaper button. Drag able.
Etc. Etc.
Twitter button. Drag it more button. Save to Dropbox button. Drag able. Double tap more button. Cancel button. Cancel menu.
So those
button.
are all the things you can do in terms of sharing. Okay. Now if I flick up,
Search field. Playlist tracks dimmed. The Jungle Book. Pause. 5 hours.
Well,
36 minutes.
now if I
39
flick
seconds.
up here.
Double tap and hold to open.
you can open the book itself to see the word by word that people would see doing tracking. I'll show that in a moment, but I'm going to show you the rest here.
More.
I can hit the more button.
Delete.
There's delete. So if you want to delete an article or a book off the playlist, you just flick up and hit the delete button, and then you got deleted.
Share.
I can share that once again. So instead of doing a double tap hold, you can also just do a swipe up.
Activate item. Default action. Open. More.
The more button, I'll show you what that is.
Mark unread. Button.
You can mark this particular unread. This is useful for people that are got the in-app purchases that will have, you can mark things read or unread so you can show what has been read or not. I will show that in a moment for those that want to do the in-app purchases and what that includes.
Copy link. Button.
And then, of course, you can copy the links.
Cancel. Button.
And then cancel.
Cancel. Menu. Button.
Okay. Let's go back
Search.
to the book.
Search field. Playlist tracks. Dimmed. The Jungle Book. Pause. 5 hours.
Now, if
36
I
minutes.
open
39
this-
seconds. Double tap and hold to share. Actions available. Open.
Flick up and now double tap on open. Now,
Playlist.
what's going to happen is that you're going to see the one word at a time. So everything on the screen is pretty much the same except for the center where there's going to be words.
Yours. 2. Say
So if I do one word at a time,
that matter. Is with me.
you can see how the tracking works, and for people with visual sight will be able to see this so they can see one word at a time. But for us, again, this is nothing going to be anything that useful for us, but I at least want to show you that option.
Table of contents. Button.
There is a table of contents at the bottom left,
Play. Button.
and
The
there's
Jungle
the
Book.
play button at the bottom center,
Normal. Button.
and then we have the normal faster at the bottom right. All right, so
Playlist. Button.
I'm going to go back to the playlist, so double tap.
Playlist.
That's
Menu.
at the top
Button.
left-hand corner. That takes us back to the playlist where we were just at with the Jungle Book. So let me give you a demonstration what Amy sounds like that I purchased. So if you want to go ahead and just listen to the book,
Play. Button.
you just hit the play
The
button
Jungle Book.
and double tap on that.
Play. Menu.
Thou art
Button.
the master, said Bagheera in an undertone. Save Akela from the death. He was ever thy friend. Akela, the grim old
Button.
wolf who had
I'm going to go ahead and pause it. The nice thing is that once you have listened to a portion of the book, it will automatically remember and bookmark it where you last left off. So you don't have to worry about losing your place or anything like that. So it's great to have, so you can actually close the app, come back to it later, and then the bookmark is stored right there for you. I will show you the syncing. You can turn sync on, so you can sync this across devices. So if you want to read this on multiple devices, that you can pick up right where you left off from one device to another device, which is very handy, very useful. All right, so this is pretty much the playlist here. So I'm going to show you the top left-hand corner.
Menu. Button.
It's the menu button. Double tap on
Menu.
menu.
Playlist. Button.
Now, the menu is going to consist of many, many things that I want to show you. And this is how you can import all the books, articles, etc. that you wanted to read and add to the playlist for Capty to read to you. It is also the place where you can find voices and settings, etc. So now we have the playlist is at the top left-hand corner. So that is how you return back to the playlist. As I swipe to the right,
Browser. Button.
there is the browser button. This is how you can surf to a website, pull an article off a web, and put it on Capty for you to read at a later time. I'm going to show you a demonstration of this in a moment after I go ahead and finish everything on the screen for you.
Clipboard. Button.
You can pull things from Clipboard.
Bookshare. Button.
If you have a Bookshare account, this is a great way to download books. There's probably about 300,000 books or so available on Bookshare. It is a great resource. It is a paid service that you have to pay, and you have to be blind to access the Bookshare. But I highly recommend it if you're a real big book fan. It's worth every penny, I believe.
Dropbox. Button.
Yes, it includes cloud services like Dropbox. If you want to import text files, rich text files, doc files, PDFs, anything like that, you can import those. This Captive Narrator is so enriched that it can import many different variations of files. Does not include MP3s or anything like that. This is only good for text files and such.
Google Drive. Button.
You can get it from Google Drives, just like the Dropbox.
Gutenberg. Button.
Gutenberg is where I got the Jungle Book. I will go into this to show you how to get your free books and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to the right.
Instapaper. Button.
Instapaper is a service that I use. I use this quite a bit when I'm on. I use Newsify to read a lot of articles. And if there's any articles I want to save for future use, reading, or just go back and read, I store everything on Instapaper.
OneDrive. Button.
Of course, there's the OneDrive for those that like the OneDrive.
Pocket. Button.
Pocket is another Instapaper where you can store articles and such from various apps like Newsify.
Voices. Button.
Okay, here comes the good stuff. Here's the Voices.
Settings. Button.
Settings.
Help. Button.
And the Help. And that is it. Now the Help, if you double tap on Help, it will bring up a number of things you can use to find the help and how to use the Captive Narrator even more on top of this podcast. So feel free to go to the Help section. It is very detailed, very well done. I highly encourage you to go to Help if you need any more assistance with the manual or whatever you want to read up on about Captive Narrator. So let's go back left one.
Settings. Button.
Let's go into Settings. I'm going to double tap on Settings.
Settings. Menu. Button.
As I swipe to the right.
Settings. Heading. Account. Button.
All right. You have to set up an account for the first time. When you set up Captive Narrator, it's going to ask you to create an account. This is to help you sync across devices and etc. Also, it stores all your information for you, so you don't have to remember all the things like the Google Drive, the Dropbox, things like that, and Bookshare. So you just double tap on that, and that will take you to where you had created your ID and password before, so it gets stored in this section.
Premium plan. Button.
The premium plan, this is what I was talking about, the in-app purchases. There's two different in-app purchases here. There is a premium plan, and there are voices. The premium plan is a subscription base that you pay per month or 6 months at a time. I believe it's $1.99 for monthly, and 6 months is $9.99. This gives you some more benefits that you can use Captive Narrator, such as the playlists. You can actually create folders and place different articles and books into different folders, and then you can create a various playlists. So that's what the playlist button was when we were in the playlist menu. So if you double tap on that playlist button, you can take advantage of creating folders and moving things around here and there. The search also comes with the paid premium, is that it offers a more in-depth search. You're able to search way more than you can with the basic free model. And then lastly, it has some other options such as being able to use a dictionary, has a word game that comes with it, and etc. But the most important thing is the free version. You're limited to a 10 meg at a time size file. So if you have a file that's more than 10 megabits, you will have to get the paid subscription to the premium plan to allow you to go over 10 megabits, but the cap is at 100 megabits instead of 10 megabits. So it'll give you a lot more headroom and flexibility of what books you can download. However, I have never reached this problem yet. I guess I just haven't read a big enough book that has been an issue, but I use Bookshare quite heavily, and I haven't come across any issue of exceeding 10 megabits. But I can see if you have PDFs or documents that will exceed that 10 megabits quite easily. And so if you want to take more advantage of that, you will have to pay for the premium plan. Okay?
Synchronization.
Here's the synchronization I was telling you about. So if I flick to the right,
Synchronization. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle
mine's
setting.
off right now. I don't have it on any other device, so for me, it's not going to make any difference. But if you swipe more to the right, it'll tell you
Back
a
up your
little bit
content
more
to Capty
about it.
servers and sync it to all of your supported devices by pulling down the playlist.
So if you want to sync across the devices and know exactly where you left off and etc. like that, you want to keep that on. But by default, I think it's turned off.
Contact us.
You can contact the wonderful developers of Capty Narrator. They are very, very, very great about accessibility. They understand voiceover users. So if you have any information you want to contact them, you just go ahead and do so by double tapping here.
Capty Narrator was created by Charmtech Labs LLC with the mission of removing barriers between people and information. Please send your comments and suggestions to feedback@captyvoice.com.
Okay, so there is the email address that you can send them any comments.
Rate Capty.
And then you can rate Capty, and this will take you right to the App Store to rate the Capty app.
Share Capty.
And then you can share Capty with your friends through your social networking of choice. So you can just double tap